The time is 8:17 a.m. The date today is the 12th of September 2020 and the day is Saturday. Kwame and Amma characteristics, ancient wise one. I had a vision today. Well, a vision last night. It was a vision on leadership. And it was particularly centered around Ghana. A strange dream. Why? Because it was a dream about statements. What do I mean by a dream about statements? I woke up and I was in front of what looked like a stage, but I was the only one there. And on the stage were a group of people, suited and booted, a bunch of them, quite a few of them, quite a lot of them, and I was the only audience. I took my seat, and one by one they came and they started arguing. And the consistent statement that kept coming up was this. When Rollins came on, Rollins said, I did this, I did that. When Muhammad came on, they all say everything that they would do, and then they say, I did this. When I was on, I did that. People standing in for presidents who have died said he did this and he did that. Some of them came and argued for, well, he did this, but he's lying. He didn't do it because if you look, he started it and he did it. And he put the plans down, and he did that, and he did this. And the statement kept going on, the statement kept going on, the statement kept going on, the statement kept going on. And then all of a sudden, as ex-presidents, current presidents, politicians, MPP, NDC, CPP, whatever party, there were loads of parties. And they were all arguing. Some of them were arguing for their parties. All of them were arguing for their parties. Some of them were specifically there to correct statements that had been intentionally made to mislead. So for example, I did this, but you didn't because Kufuor did it. And I did this, but you didn't because Muhammad did it. I did this, but you didn't because you said it, but it wasn't done. There were people specifically there to get these things out. But then the stage vanished. There was no longer any stage, and it was just me. And then that's when it hit me. I started going crazy in my dream. Why? It hit me that, hold on, all these people are from one nation, Ghana. They are from where? One nation, Ghana. And they are all leaders of where? One nation, Ghana. And when they say, I did this, he did this, he didn't do that, what did they mean? That was the question. What did they mean? I needed to answer that question. What did they mean when they say, I did? I was made to, feel as though if and when I am able to answer that question, things will be a lot more easier for me. So I endeavored myself to try and answer the question. What do they mean by I did? Number one, they are all leaders of a nation called Ghana. So what they did or what they claim to have done They have done it for Ghana. But get this, none of them can show a bank account. Listen carefully to me. None of them can show a bank account that resembles your parents' bank account. Your parents say when they're angry with you, I did this for you, I did that for you, and I did this for you, and I suffered and brought you up. I did. It means the same when everyone says it. I did. But does it reflect the same? Because when my mom and dad say I did, this is what is meant by them saying I did. They went to work. They got paid from the work that they went to. They used that money that their hard work, sweat has gained to do things for me and my sister and my son and my family members. So they, when they say we did, or when one of them says I did, they're actually speaking about that which they sweated, killed themselves to do. So now let's examine the politicians and the prime ministers and the whatever. Let's examine their I did. Okay, they applied for a job. Good, they're on the line because my parents applied for jobs and they got the jobs. Good, because my parents applied for the jobs and they got the jobs, and then they did the jobs. Good, the politicians applied for the job and they did the job. But what is the difference between the setup of my parents' work and the setup of the politicians' work? The similarities are: one, they apply for jobs, they get it. Two, they're given a salary. Three, they're given a job to do. But you see, my parents, this is where the problems differ, or the similarities stop. You see, my parents, they were given a job to do to satisfy the person who had given them the job, but the person didn't give them a budget. The person didn't give my parents a budget and hand them money to say, do your job. No, my parents, in some cases, depending on the jobs they did at the time or what time, at times they got a knife to cut the meat. At times they got a paintbrush. So my parents had to manage with knives to cut meat, paintbrush to paint walls, things to build houses, tools, equipment, this, that, rah. And when they use that and manage that to the satisfaction of their employer, they got paid. And then they used their pay to do. But the presidents and the prime ministers, when they got the job, they're given a salary, a pay, just like my parents. But the job does not require them. Listen very carefully. The job does not require these people to use a cent of what they have been paid to do anything for the job. Are you understanding what I'm telling you? Their job gives them a salary, but it doesn't just give them a salary. My parents just get a salary. They don't get bus fare. They don't get petrol money. These people get the latest, most comfortable car for free. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not nine, not 10. We can't count them. It's part not of their tools, but part of their living arrangement. They get a house to live in, even though they've got a big mansion already. They get a bigger one. They don't pay for that. They don't pay any rent. So they get a salary. They save rent. They don't pay electricity. They save that too. They don't pay water. They save that too. But remember, these people didn't need it because they're already rich. Okay. They don't pay any taxes, but they earn more than you. They're given a budget. And do you know what their job is? It's a very simple job. It's just like my parents. My parents are given tools and they said, this is your job. It's just like most of our parents. They're given tools and they said, this is your job. Or you come and they say, is this the type of job you do? Yes, this is the type of job I do. Then you're the type of person I need. Yes, I'm the type of person you need. Then this is the money, yeah, for the things you need, and this is the money for your hours you put in. Do it. In my vision, I realized that, hold on, these people are taking the Mickey Mouse fuckery with Ghana. These people are taking the Mickey Mouse fuckery with everything just by their statements. Listen, I'm going to prove to you, if there's a president who can claim I did and be given the title of I did, because in my vision I realized, you see these people, 90% of them you never heard of before until they became politicians. But a very select elite you never heard of until they became politicians. But get this, when they were not politicians, they were rich. Some of them have inherited riches from way back. They were rich. You see, leadership is not about what you do when you get to sit on the chair. It's about what you display. People are called to lead, sometimes even forced to lead. When people have to fight to lead, you have to think twice, because the characteristics of leadership is not taught in schools. It can't be taught in schools. It's within you. Kabuki, and I read what you call it, Cinderella slippers, tight. I want to take a picture for you. And that hair she was holding yesterday is on the head now. I want to take a picture for you. Anyway, yeah, leadership is not something like you can go to a course in school and the course can say it's the subject for leadership, and whatever they say, it would not make you a leader. Because get this, the funny thing people do not understand about leadership is this: there is no position for leadership. People think the leader is the captain, The leader is the one at the front. The leader is this. No. The leader is the one in position at the time of need. If your hand is in the position, then your hand is the leader at that time. If your leg, then your leg is in if your belly, then your belly. The leader is the part that is needed the most of the time. So get this. We may have a group of people and say, this is the president, this is the economic secretary, this is the treasury secretary. We have all gotten it into our head that the leader is the president. But get this, when we're having an economic crisis, the leader is the economic secretary, because even the president is looking to him for solutions, for answers. The leader is the person leading. So a leadership is not a position. You can be at the back and be the leader. You can be in the middle and be the leader. You can be so insignificant in the middle, and yet there will come a point where the middle needs to hold, because the front wants to fold. The front wants to fold because they're scared of what's coming at them. The middle can see that the front is shaking. The front would not fold if the front realizes that the middle is still standing. But if the front realizes that even the middle is shaking, the defense is broken. So you in the middle, uncounted, insignificant, unheard of, unknown of, laughed at, you start singing. Ukum apim apim baba, 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 ukum apim apim baba. Stamping your feet. Ukum apim apim baba, ukum apim apim baba, ukum apim apim baba. But everyone takes off from your rhythm, from your stamping, from your clapping, from your voice. You're not in the front. You're not by the sides. In fact, you are or were insignificant. But now, because of some intuitive nature of you, which is not a big person fighting everyone, I'll bully you, this, that, no. A nature that God has given you, a tactical nature to realize and to ascertain what is needed in that time, will give you automatic leadership. Because the general is realizing that the front is buckling. The general knows that. The captains, they're buckling along with their colonels and everyone. The general knows that. He's given straight commands, but these commands, they have been given to these soldiers over and over and over in drill-like situations. in drill-like situations. So the commanders' actions for them to stay hold. They're holding because it is a command to stay hold. But their hearts are telling them, fuck this, bruh. So any minute now, the commander knows he will have a broken front. But he doesn't have the charisma to overturn things around and corral the troops to get the faith in themselves that they can withstand and defeat the enemy of front. But there you are. And the funny thing, it was a midget as well. You know, one of those short little people. And that's why he was so insignificant. Because they didn't told him, listen, take the women to the bushes, man. But this guy took a little spear like 10 times the size of him. And then he's there following them, right in the middle. They were even afraid they'll trample on him. You get me? But some of them admired him in the beginning just for wanting to be there to save Ghana. You understand what I'm saying? So get this. He said, Ukuma pemba pemba, Ukuma pemba pemba. And then from the immediate circle around him, some of them stopped. It was almost as if in Ghana what they say, "Oh come," he was chanting. "Oh come," he was chanting with his spear in the air, one arm in the air. Translation: when you kill a billion, another billion will turn up. What does that mean? It means you see this billion in front of you. They're here to die. But are you here to die? It's a question. When you kill a billion, a million, a trillion, the exact amount you have killed will be back right here to face you. But understand that which is in front of you right now didn't come here with the intention of leaving. They came here with the intention of fucking you up at all cost necessary. Why? Because they're protecting the nest. Human beings, we don't think. In Hebrew iconology, the animal is called abua. A means a, bua means help, a helper. The animal will help you. The animal will help you. Why? The nest. We believe that we don't die if we reproduce. Our offspring are us regenerated. Just like you take a piece of fruit and you regenerate it. You always remember the origin of that. You say, I grew it from this particular fruit, from this seed, from this tree. It was a good strain. You see what I mean? It was a good strain. So you keep that strain. But get this, we don't believe we die. But get this, when something threatens the colony, you have to face that thing, not at the hornet's nest. No, you have to run and face that thing before it gets to you. And most times, most of these young braves, listen, they will be 16, 18, but we used to marry young. So most of them, before they went on this trip, if their wives were not pregnant, listen, they will have a week. The wives will welcome it. Because why? They are regenerating the next 1,000, the next trillion, the next billion. Because what did their fathers tell you? When you kill this billion, another billion will come. Because they are specifically sure of what they did. before they came to face you. Ukum apem apem baba, ukum apem apem baba, ukum apem. All of a sudden, get this, leadership has switched. Leadership is about that one person who is able to recognize not that the country is broken and that the country needs everything, no, but that to fix the country we need to start here. Because you see, most of the country's problems revolve around this particular problem, and by solving this one problem, the 2 million problems we have automatically reduce to 1.5. What is that problem? Roads. But get this, a good leader will get the money to do all that. But the problem is this: how do we know that someone is going to be a good leader? Listen, someone is going to be a good leader and use the money that the nation gives him as a budget for the nation, because the nation already pays him or her and gives him or her so much more. We read manifestos, one. We read political or listen to political speeches, two. I want you to get this in your head. This is how you pick future leaders. If someone's poor and is running for office, look at the academical status. Yes, of course, but not necessarily the educational status. Academics don't necessarily come from education, because it's about understanding. Someone's economics is not written down in books, but it makes sense and it works. And the best example in Africa are these people. They're Nigerians, and they do money exchanges. They don't have any computers. But get this, they're some of the richest in the world. They have a business formula. It's not written in any books, but it works perfect for them. If they can display that this business formula has worked for them, hence why, get this is how you pick leaders. Hence why, the reason why I am running for presidency is because, get this, I've tried to fix this country from the side. How? Me as an individual, I did for Ghana with my own money. I created businesses which gives this many jobs, but it's not helping because I can't open a business everywhere in Ghana. I've brought in industrial equipment which gives us the ability, Ghanaians, to get into this kind of production which brings in jobs, but I can't do it everywhere and for every industry, but I'm trying. I've brought in these equipments because builders in this trade or artisans in this trade were really struggling. So as an individual, before I even run for presidency, this is the things I did to try and make Ghana. And for the last 20 years or for the last 10 years, this is what I've been doing. This is how much it's cost me of my own money. But don't get it wrong, I've been making profits off it. But the idea was to make Ghana great again. Now I've realized that the reason why I'm unable, listen carefully, the reason why I'm unable to do what I need to do to save Ghana properly is because the people in power do not always work with growth. The people in power do not always work with growth. Because of that, the businesses that I'm trying to set up, or that I have tried to set up with my own money to do for Ghana what I can do for Ghana, they are stalling. I put my money in, I do this, and Ghana's meant to support me here, support me there, get me trade deals, get me this, get me experience. The education system does not give me the required workforce I need. So I wanted to bring in this specialist, this speciality, but I can't because I don't have the people to specialize on them. The government does not help me. But look, I have the potential. By myself, look at what I have done. Look what I have achieved. Food prices were so high until I brought in this type of restaurants and proved to the world that Ghana was at the stage where Ghana had the ability to buy food at this cost. Because Ghana was at the production stage, but because of uncentralized farming systems, we were not able to calculate just how productive Ghana is. But me as an individual, I've been able to collect as much information as possible. It gives me a good picture of Ghana, and I have used that to my advantage. I'm giving you an example of how you should pick your future leaders. I have used that to my advantage. I have created jobs in these regions, created ownerships in this region, created infrastructure in this region. I have a plan, and I'm winning. Yes, I'm winning. Why? I keep getting rich. But get this. It's not just me. We could all get rich together. I know this. We could all get rich together. Why? Because I want every Ghanaian to get some. And I've been giving as much as I can. And the more I give, the more I make. I don't want any more. And anyway, Ghana's gonna pay me. All I want you to do is give me the opportunity. Listen carefully to this. To use the same management skills that I have single-handedly tried to help Ghana with, and successfully working, but on a minor scale. All I'm asking is for you to give me that opportunity, to give me the hands I need, because that's what the president of Ghana gets. Hands. So I did everything on my own in small scale, but now I am applying for presidency position because, get this, I can make the foods cheaper. Because with a presidency position, one, I will focus on improving the roads that leads to the farms. Watch. And making roads where there is no roads, so the food can come. This will drop prices for food, but would it make anyone poor? No. It won't make anyone poor. Why? Because the farmer is going to grow that amount anyway. The farmer is going to grow that amount anyway, and normally the farmer is losing, well, right now with current leadership, the farmer is losing 50% of gross stock anyway. So this farmer now has the opportunity to sell 100% of gross stock. This farmer is all of a sudden, even if they get 75% of the price and give away 25% as what Ghanaians call jara, this farmer has made money that he or she never made before. And why? It's because now more cars are able, more trucks are able to get to them. And the prices, because get this, when the roads are bad, the trucks, they charge a bump. If the roads are good, the prices go down. When the prices go down, is easier. It means the farmers, it's easier for them to take their own stock and bring their own stock into town and fetch better prices. But get this, they will still be giving you more at the same time anyway, and it will still be cheaper. So I'll get the roads in. I'll start from that end quick. Get the major roads in as well. That's the first thing. Second thing, we have I'll tell you that we have a large population of students currently qualified who get this, don't have any actual experience even in the fields they studied in. And I've realized that most of our students are not actually qualified because our education system is shit. If you took your degree that you received in Ghana to England, don't think you're jumping straight into a job. You have to do a freshers course. They have to be sure. You understand what I'm saying? So you got doctors doing cleaning for now, or doctors being nurses for now. So in Ghana he's Dr. Abuaji, but in England he's Nurse Abuaji for now, until they're sure. You understand what I'm saying? So we get a youth program going. Forget what you call it, giving youth money. No, we get a proper youth program going. We use the national service to get a youth program going. Forget people going into offices to be fucked by office maidens and office whatever. No, we get a youth program going using national service. How? There are many services within government that is lacking. Ghana's educational system is broken. So many of our older generations, that's why many of them are handy boys. They have no formal education. And even if Nanado talks about, or Muhammad talks about bringing in jobs, that's why I'm telling you, Muhammad is actually very clever. I'm not saying that he's clever as in the statement he made was right, but he recognizes that Ghana's educational system, so we've got all these qualified students, but he recognized that they're worth nothing. So he knew that there's a large population out there of qualified Ghanaians who even when given office jobs will not qualify. That's why the jobs don't come. That's why foreign investors don't come and set up call centers here. They don't come and set what? Call centers here. Because when you think about it, Ghanaians speak really good English. But it doesn't take the speech of good English alone for businesses to run. It takes understanding of English processes. Ghanaians don't have a good understanding of English processes. So, for example, Indians, they have. And that's why the colonizers, the colonial England, that's why they used to take Indians everywhere with them. They took them to Uganda. They have such an understanding with them that the Indians are the accountants. They took them to Kenya as accountants. They took them to Uganda as accountants. They took them to South Africa as accountants. Do you see what I mean? They have a leveled understanding with them. Ghanaians and most Africans in Africa in general don't have this. So the educational system and the Western nations, they're fully aware of it, because they're fully aware that the African educational system, because it's intentional. You're not meant to know them that well. You're not meant to understand them that well. So get this, these 16-year-old kids, there's a missing part of governance that's not working. Because our educational system is shit and most people are actually uneducated, this is how corruption is getting away in Ghana. Ghanaians do not actually understand the true meaning of freedom and justice, and also the true meaning of the word democracy. You see, demonstrate, yeah, to demonstrate. You cannot demonstrate unless you have taken the path of democracy. That's why the word demo is in front. Let me show you why. What is the path of democracy? The path of democracy is this. Even if you want to demonstrate, you have to seek permission from governance. You have to give them location. This is all democratic, because you are free to protest, but only under democratic law. So the action of democracy is you filling in the form saying, yeah, we're going to stage a protest for this reason, it doesn't matter, but we're going to stage a protest for this reason, rah rah rah, yeah, this day, blah blah blah. Sounds controlled, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, democracy. But get this, Ghanaians, they will just get angry, and I don't even know if they apply for license to protest, but then they start protesting and demonstrating, but they haven't acted an action democracy. Most of them can't read or write, so they don't know how to make written complaints. They do not know how to make written complaints. Now, our students who currently are, are also in the same position but slightly better off, they can be helped. They can be helped. It will take a little polishing to get them to reading standard properly and writing standard properly. In no time, we have government officers. Listen, this is how we groom our future leaders. We have government officers that are run, let's say, call centers, and also you can walk in. Why? Because get this, we have Ewe kids, we have Gar kids, we have Fanti kids, we have Ashanti kids, but we have Ewe grandmas that can't speak English and have difficulty filling in forms. We have Ashanti kids, Ashanti grandmas that are having difficulty, Ashanti granddads, Ashanti people in general, Ewe people in general, Ghana people in general, Ghana in general. No adult has the time to go and sit there and do this job, yeah, and no one wants to provide the facilities to do this job because it cuts into budget. So me as a president, I will set a youth scheme that creates an award scheme that, get this, these call centers and these play centers, we train the youth to understand how democracy works. And how does democracy work? Oh, you live in Ghana, you're Ghanaian, oh, you're suffering, okay, how old are you? Boom boom boom. Okay, cool. Because of your situation, these are the things the Ghanaian government at the moment, from what you're telling me and from the evidence you're showing me, I can identify that you may be entitled to, or that you are entitled to. So these are the forms that I'm gonna drag out for you, and I'm gonna send you to my colleague over there in that room over there. John, yes. Sorry. Fifi, yes. Can you help grandma here to fill out her forms, please? Yeah, she needs the P1999 for the extra money the government gives. Oh yeah, the one they've never spoken about. Yeah, that one. Don't worry, grandma, I got you. Shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Shit like that. In 10 minutes, grandma's fully filled in. She's given a nice cup of tea or whatever. We're in Ghana, so she's given a nice cold chocolate. Listen, we run it like a professional business. We give these kids minimum wages. At least we support their transportation to and from and food to eat. Every youth, every young person for national service will serve minimum 1 year, 12 months in these stations. They will have the opportunity to become leaders in the group. They will do tasks, because this is an organization that collects data, this, that information, because people are coming in with problems. We're collecting data on problems. We're collecting statistics on problems. We're collecting a demographic information to see how we can better govern, because it is through the collection of these informations that a government arranges itself. So the kids are doing it. They're seeing how it's done. Future leaders are doing leadership roles right now. Right now. It's needed. Boys and girls equal. Your talent will push you forward. Your innovations, you will come across problems that don't fit on the templates we give you to help the nation with. So then your innovation to recognize that new templates need to be formed, adding this, doing that, bringing problems to the light. Next thing you know, every region has these centers. Our youth are not hanging around the streets. They're whizzing up and down, helping grandma, delivering letters, because get this, the postage system in Ghana is not so good. So these departments will receive responses, will receive replies. They will either, depending on the situation, they will either run it over to your house, read it to you, explain it to you, break it down for you properly if you're Ewe in Ewe, because we will get Ewe kid to deal with Ewe man. Yeah, to make it more, you speak your Ewe, they listen to your Ewe, they translate it into the best English so it fits onto the platform of the government. So they translate it the best they can. We train our kids regionally, but we train them together. So get this, they're working in Kumasi, Accra, Eweland, Garland, wherever, but they're doing the same work. In the future, we have leaders who just see Ghana as the place to fix. Statements. Now you're about to pick a leader, and you're saying, hey, look at this guy. He's got a lot of posters around the nation, you know. He must be a big guy. Hey, listen to this guy. He's chatting a lot, you know. He must be a big guy. Oh, get this. He's promising us this. He's promising us this. He said, in fact, he was part of the party before, and look at what they did. They did fuck all. Do them. The rubbish car, yeah, the rubbish car is here to pick up waste and is blasting it. You see what I mean? They did fuck all. Listen, I'm telling you, yeah, Africans should think before they deploy leadership. It will help. You have rich people who have the opportunity to do things and climb mountains so their friends can say, yeah. You see what I mean? And they don't do none of that. Like tomorrow you have maybe Shatawale applying, yeah, to be an MP of his local constituency because they love him and because he's famous and because he's heard of. Like that actor John DeMello, yeah, okay, because he's famous, he's capitalizing, but not necessarily. Maybe he had ambitions to be a politician. But get this, whilst this guy wasn't a politician, I'm not just talking about one person, I'm talking about everyone. What implementation privately, especially if they were rich, what implementation personally were they putting into place? Are you waiting to be given the torch of leadership before you spend on Ghana so you can go and say, I did? When you didn't do nothing. The president's job in Ghana here, the president's job is but one. The president, the word president, it misleads. It actually misleads. Ghana should adopt a system and be the first nation to not have prime ministers, presidents, anyone. We should call that current role manager. One. Manager. One. Manager number one. Why? That is the president's job. You don't actually need a president who's intelligent. No. You need a president who is able to coordinate, because that's all a president's job is, coordination. Because the president cannot do economics and cannot do roads and cannot do engineering and cannot do everything by himself. So Ghana employs other people and pays those other people lovely amounts of money, so they don't have to use their money to do. So therefore one day they cannot stand somewhere and say, I did, because none of you did shit. And the president's job is merely to make sure that the engineer is being engineering, that the roads engineer is roads engineering, that the policeman is policing, that the soldier is soldiering, that the navy is navering, that the farmers are farming. So get this, the farmers may not even be part of the government, but because farming as part of the economic system of the governance, the president's job is to make sure that the Minister of Agriculture is creating a program that gives him, the president, the manager, a good indication of just how much produce comes out of his economy. One, and how to seek markets for those produces. That's the president's job. No African nation is picking presidents based on these theories. We're picking presidents because, get this, Amata is the daughter of Kojo Kpongu, and Kojo Kpongu is rich. And get this, he goes around giving bags of rice. This is what's happening in Ghana. This is what's happening in Ghana. They go as far as, get this, when Kufuor was president, he would say, when I was president, I did this road. And then he will say, when I was president, in Ghana's, I believe, 52nd anniversary or 54th anniversary, I even printed compass sets to give free to Ghanaian schools, because I knew that the Ghanaian buildership was ahead. Why? Because there is no builder if you do not understand the tools of masonry. It's as simple as that. The tools of masonry is everything in your compass math set. So if we wanted Ghana to get built, we had to believe in Masonic activity and masonry. So the compass was put in front of us to point us that way. So on the anniversary of our independence, we were given a clue to what direction we should be looking at. You see these compass sets? A politician back then hid them. Listen carefully. A politician back then in Kufuor's time, when Kufuor was trying to send a message to the Ghanaian kids as to this is the way I'm pointing, our nation. Thus, this is the way you should be looking. A politician hid them. But in a small message, it would have helped with their maths work, and they probably would have been better mathematicians. But a politician hid them. You see this year, 2020, election year, right? So politicians are given bags of rice, cooked wache and shito, and one slice of one little fish. They're given ridiculous prizes. One of the prizes given was a compass set with one of the parties, I forgot which party, I don't want to mention it, one of the parties' emblem, printed on a sticker and wrapped around a compass set. So again, Ghanaians are being directed towards the buildership and Masonic activity, because like I said, there is no buildership without the understanding of the compass set. You can't build a building, you can't build anything. Everything needs measurements, cutting, this, that, and all that knowledge, even chemistry, the knowledge of chemistry lives in the compass set. So to be the best builder there is to be, you need to understand. You don't need to become a mason. You just need to understand the principles of the Masonic tools. The Masonic tools. Even a carpenter has to understand it. Jesus was a carpenter. It means you see Jesus. He had the understanding of Masonic tools. The compass and square. They're actually a carpenter's main tool. They're also a builder's main tool. The principles of building. So they stole it a few years back from the Ghanaian kids. And this time round, they have repackaged the same thing. This time with another political person's picture. With the old political person, Kufuor's picture, underneath that. And now, they're giving it to Ghanaians. It means, get this. It could be that the government ordered that they should give Ghanaian kids a message again. And then this guy went and took the old ones that he stole when he cut Ghana half. And he gave it to the kids. Meaning they've cut Ghana half again. But the budget, Ghana's money, is always signed and ticked as paid for it. And then tomorrow someone will go and stand there and make a statement and say, I did. I did. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you haven't. What you did is you tried to manage but failed miserably. You tried to manage Ghana but failed miserably. If you ever want to use the word I did, because get this, I'm not saying that no one has done anything for Ghana. Nkrumah did. And I'm not saying since Nkrumah no one has. But not through, not consistent. Not consistent. It's 2020. Ghana has roads that wash when it rains, as if Ghana is not used to rain, and therefore our engineers cannot think that we're in Ghana, we're used to heavy rains, so therefore our roads should withstand heavy rainfall. Engineering. But it's not that we didn't have these engineers before. We did. Kwame Nkrumah, he realized that the road we needed. Kwame Nkrumah did something that was amazing. Listen, this is what people do not realize. When we got independence and Kwame Nkrumah knew that there was a race, there was a world race at the time of countries and nations and continents pushing to get forward. He knew there was a problem. He knew if Africa and Ghana did not join the race at that time, that there will come a point where we'll be too far back. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Where we'll be too far back. And one of the race was the race for infrastructure, because the race for infrastructure is what brings in a healthy economy. So when Kwame Nkrumah noticed that, the first thing he did to try and get Ghana in the race for infrastructure was start on the roads. But he started from the port, where everything comes in and everything leaves. And he knew that he needed the roads to be solid for at least 100 years. Why? Because when Ghana started building the roads, Ghana needed to carry on building till it finishes building, and then the road needed to last for as long as possible, so when they finish, now they can start maintaining. But if Ghana was building roads that were breaking as they were building, it means they will never finish building roads, which is the current situation Ghana's in. If you calculate the amount of proper roads in Ghana with the square area mileage of Ghana, you will realize that we have maybe Manchester to London. You understand what I'm saying? But get this. So what did he do? When you go to the Tema Road, the Tema motorway, and when you're driving, take a good look. It's been 62 years and over, right? When you're driving, you will come across potholes. Not very many, 1 or 2. But slow down and take a look. You're going to see they're not potholes, although they're considered as potholes. They're just years of cracks. But why has it taken 62 years for these cracks to develop? It's because, get this, because Kwame Nkrumah wanted at least 100 years of road buildership without any problem, and 62 is quite good, yeah? He decided to use concrete, and he built the road the way we build houses. He used metal mesh to give the road stability and hold it. He knew what he was doing. He knew Ghana, once we started building roads, we can't look back, because if we have to keep coming back, we're wasting effort and we're wasting money. So the first time we do it, it has to last. It has to at least last until we get to the end of the blueprint, and then we can come back and fit in this and fit in that. But certainly the bloodline, the supply routes for Ghana should be put in, and it should be solid. 62 years, the only road that pays for itself, and get this, until today, we killed, listen, not me, the nation of Ghana, the people of Ghana, they murdered Kwame Nkrumah. Listen carefully, they murdered Kwame Nkrumah. Today they celebrate Kwame Nkrumah, even though Kwame Nkrumah doesn't celebrate Ghana. He died a lonely-hearted, broken, betrayed. Normally, listen, if you're a president and you betray your nation, yeah, it's called treason, and you can be sentenced to death for that. So what happens when you're a good president and your nation betrays you? That's also treason. And you see someone saying, so who should sentence us to death? And I'm saying, are you stupid? You've been living in debt for the last 62 years. Ghanaians are on the desert front. I know a girl, her name is Adowa, Monday born. She's in Saudi Arabia. I begged her not to go. I told her, nah, don't go there, man. Don't go somewhere where you're considered an automatic slave and an automatic rat, even for money. I said, stay in Ghana, will be alright. And then I lost contact with her. The other day she phoned me. She sounds like she wants to ask me for help, because get this, she left and she didn't call me because she knew I would object. And then the minute she got there, coronavirus hit, and then she didn't get a job. So she's been stuck in a camp. They're in a camp like a prison camp, but it's not a prison, but they're not allowed out. So it's a prison, because that's the definition of a prison. They're not allowed out unless the camp runners, so the people who control the camp, unless they need to go shopping to buy food for the campmates, and then they take a few campmates out, and then they buy food and bring it back. She's stuck there for the last 7 months. Now they're telling her if they want to come home, they need to pay half the fare. So they need to pay 50% of the fare, and then the company will pay the other 50%. Problem is, she hasn't worked, so she doesn't have it. So now she had to look around, yeah, and she had to call here, she has to call here. She has to try and find 50% of a flight fare just so she can come home. She has a little girl. Her name is Agatha. She's going to find something to come and feed a little daughter, but she's found nothing, and now she's stuck. Why do you think this is? In a nation where we have gold, diamond, cocoa, bauxite, timber, good soil. We have everything. Why is Adowa running away to a nation that doesn't have good running water? To a nation that doesn't have good air to breathe? Why? Ask yourself, why? She's not alone. She's not alone. She has a story to tell, I know. If I could help her financially, I would. But right now, I'm not in the position to help her. She hasn't asked, but I know. I know because she's told me her situation. You understand what I'm saying? I won't tell you my situation if you weren't someone that I wouldn't mind to ask help from. Even if I tell you my situation, I don't ask for help. I know you to be someone who would think about my situation later. And I am thinking about her situation. It's just I'm not in a position to help. Do you see what I mean? Why do you think? If you sleep for too long, I'm telling you, leadership is from anywhere. That one little midget was stood in the middle. In no time, the circle around him drew back, gave him space. He was the only warrior on the field who had space. He was special. The ground around him, this midget, was hardly trembling, was hardly moving. But as he kept chanting, eventually another guy got caught by the spirit. And whenever this guy said, Ukum mapemba pembeba, he replied, Ukum mapemba pembeba, Ukum mapemba pembeba, Ukum mapemba pembeba, Ukum mapemba pembeba, Ukum mapemba pembeba. The midget's voice was so small. But get this second guy's voice was a deep hum. Ukum mapemba pembeba, and it reverberated in everyone around him. In no time, and then it started traveling. In no time, the ground around the midget, which had been opened for him to come, for him to dance and call and draw out the spirits, started to move. The chanting started traveling like a ripple effect. In no time, it got to the second line, to the front line. The second line to the front line was stamping. But the front line, the final two, they were still trembling. And then the midget went silent. And then the trembling and everything went silent. And then the noise and everything went silent. At this time, the enemy stopped. The enemy stopped. And then the midget went, say ye betu kwanya ye di credo betu chenano ye di credo betu chenano. I say ye betu kwanya ye di credo betu chenano. Get this, stamping soldiers. Listen, chests were pumped out. He had reminded them, that day. Listen, he said, when we were traveling, we put a padlock on the vagina. That's what we did. But remember, you've got the key to the padlock so you can go and open it again. So what the fuck? And they were fuck. Let's get this over and done with and go back to our vaginas, man. Yeah, this great Roberto Chenano. Listen, they charged. In no time, the midget was on his own. He was charging, but get this, 2 steps was like 50 steps. These guys were pumped. These guys were charged. These guys were just seeing their misses, and they just saw their misses ahead of them, and they said, I'm gonna ravage you. So the enemy was stood there, were looking at these guys coming, and these guys were going, I'm gonna fuck you, baby, come here, come here. The enemy let their weapons go and just started running, cause these guys were horny as fuck. And they were ready to get rich or die trying. Fuck this. I'm going to Makola.